Hi, James here, and welcome to my robotics class. I've got a list of resources that you're going to need to download before you get started with the program. So before you come to class, you're going to have these things installed on your computer. This video is going to start off helping you install the Arduino IDE, and I'll explain what that is in a second. Then we're going to set up the IDE by downloading some more a board manager. So we're going to get that installed in the IDE. All right, so the first thing we do is we click on this link right here, which takes us to the Arduino website. The Arduino website. Back up one here so I get to the right page. The Arduino website. Arduino is an open source software platform and an open source hardware platform. They are a type of microcontroller. That's a tiny little computer. It's not very powerful, not very expensive. What you'll do is you'll follow this link and you will go to the one that says Windows Installer. If you're running Windows, if you're running Mac, you know what to do. And if you're running Linux, well, you're not asking me any questions if you're running Linux. So click on Windows Installer. That's the first thing we're going to do. And here we go. It's going to download a program to my computer. Let me hit the pause button and I'll come back. So as you can see, it's installing, it's downloading the Arduino IDE. When it's done, just click on that, double click on it, and it'll pop open the installer. All right, this is pretty simple. If Arduino pops up if Windows pops up some error messages, just click yes, please install. Yes, you trust things that come from this website. So I'm going to click I agree, next, install, and it's just going to roll. It's going to take about 5 minutes on this computer to install. And if there are any error messages, you just click yes, I want to install, and you click on through. And now my Arduino has set up, the Arduino setup has completed. I can click close, go down here to the search bar and type in ARD, and there it is, Arduino pops up. And let's open that up. It's going to take a minute for it to open the first time. When Arduino opens up the first time, this is the screen that we're going to get. We've got the sketch down here. Sketch is the name that we give to the program that we're building. They call them sketches in Arduino instead of programs. The sketch has two main parts. Here it is the void setup, and here it is the void loop. We call this the setup section, the setup function, and the loop function. So everything between these brackets is going to run one time when we plug in our microcontroller. After that, it will start running the stuff between these brackets, and it will run those in an endless loop until you unplug it. So it's pretty simple programming. Up here at the top, we've got the rest of the Arduino IDE. IDE means Integrated Development Environment. What that means is it is a piece of software that's designed to make software. It's software for making software, and that's what we're doing. We're writing computer code in here. So I'm going to go up here and click the File menu, and this, as you can see, it gives me places to open a file or recent files. I have example files that are built in. Lots of example files are built in, and we're going to use some of those in my class. You can save it. And then down here is preferences. We're going to deal with that just in a second. Over here is the sketch folder, and we can verify and upload our code. That's really important. We're going to do a lot of that. We can also include a library, and we can manage the libraries that we have. Libraries are they're libraries of code that have been written by other people. Let's say, for instance, I develop a new kind of sensor. Well, I'm going to have to write code to make that sensor work. And I will put that in a library and then distribute that. People can download it and install it, and that gives Arduino the ability to talk to my sensor and make it work. Later, we're going to be downloading something called the Blink library, but that's not in this video. Go over here to Tools, and we've got lots of different tools that we can use. The first one is the serial monitor. This is important. We'll be using that a lot. Down here it says Board. I'm going to change that in just a second. I have something called the Boards Manager, and we'll also be using that. Now, as you can see, there's lots of different kinds of Arduinos. Quite a few. I wasn't actually aware that there were this many Arduinos, but there's lots of them. And there's even more that are made by third parties and aren't Arduinos, but they work with the Arduino IDE. That's the thing we're going to be using. We're going to be installing for a board called the Node MCU. So we're going to go and get that right about now. What we have to do is get this link right here, the second link, and it says set up Node MCU on Arduino. I'll highlight that and copy it. Go over to my Arduino program. I'll go up to File, Preferences. It'll load up here. And down here in the bottom, I'm going to paste it in. This is what I've pasted in to the Arduino program. So I've pasted in this package. I don't have to open the link. I'm just going to copy and paste it. Click OK. Hey, look, nothing much happens. What I have to do now is go up to the Tools menu, go down to Boards. Again, see, no new boards have shown up on my list. I'll go to Boards Manager, and it's downloading all the new platforms here, and there it's ready to go. I'll scroll to the end. I happen to know that the one I'm looking for is at the end of the list, and it is the ESP8266 series of boards. What we're doing is we're going to be using this board here called the Node MCU. This is MCU means microcontroller unit. This is a little computer. This is a computer on a chip right in here. This is a Wi-Fi antenna. This is called the ESP8266 ESP12E. Yeah, that's a mouthful. We call it the Node MCU board, and it is it's really useful. It's about 2.5 inches long. They're very small. They're very easy to use. So we're going to go down here. Click this window where it says boards included in this pack. Just click this window and click Install. It's going to take a couple minutes to run the installation. All right, now we're back. Now, as you can see, it's now installed. I could click Remove if I want to, but I certainly don't want to. So I'll click Close, and this time when I go click on the Tools bar, and I click on Boards, you can see that there are new boards down here at the bottom that were never there before. So I'll go down here. I'm going to click on Node MCU 1.0. That's the version we'll be using, the little black computer board that I showed you a second ago. I click on that, and I also go down here, and you'll notice I've plugged one in, by the way. I've plugged in my microcontroller, my Node MCU. I've plugged it in, and you can see it now says COM3 has been highlighted. So that was pretty easy. It just plugged in, and I am now ready to go. If you're really lucky, your computer won't recognize your board. In that way, you get to learn so much more. You'll get to learn lessons like patience and troubleshooting and how to handle frustrations in life. So that's really good. So if you're not lucky, your computer will be like mine. You'll plug in your brand new board. It'll recognize it the first time. And just, too bad for you. Life's too bad. If things work smoothly, I guess that's too bad. If it doesn't work, if you plug in your controller, your microcontroller, and it doesn't work, okay, unplug it and plug it in again. That's the first thing you should try. Second thing you should try is the old trick, restart your computer. Turn it off, turn it back on again. Try that. That's going to solve a lot of your problems. If that doesn't work, try plugging the cable in somewhere else. And then my third step, if that still doesn't work, check your cable, because there are a few phone cables out there, USB cables, that are only for charging a device. They don't have any data pins inside of them. I don't know why anybody would build something like that. I think maybe that's some sort of conspiracy, perhaps. But anyway, check your data cable and make sure that it actually carries data. You can do that by plugging in a phone or some other device and then see if you can connect that to your computer. Or just try another cable. Try a different cable. So that's my advice. That's how you set up the Arduino IDE. That's how you set up this Arduino IDE. That's how you set it up to use the Node MCU board. Alrighty. See you in class. Now, if you can't get this thing to work, please come to class a little bit early, and I will help you. I will help you walk you through it, and we'll troubleshoot it together. Alrighty. See you in class.